Preliminary final day here from the North Ipswich Reserve, day 2 of our preliminary final weekend, in fact, and we are back under cloudy skies, cool conditions, and to kick things off, we've got the Under-15 Division 2, the Jets Leagues Club Premiership, Redbank running left to right against the Rosewood Roosters and the red and white jumpers. We haven't seen a lot of them this week and through the finals just yet. The club's only a tiny club, tiny country club, but these guys will fight well above their weight. My name's David Nugent, joined by Andrew Boxall, and excited to be in the comp box, mate, again on a Saturday afternoon.
Yeah, it's going to be a good day. Yeah, it's last game's at 7 o'clock tonight, so we've got 5 games back to back. And is anyone in Rosewood this afternoon? Is there? Because it sounds like they're all here in the grandstand yelling for their team and their community.
And it's good to see. Like I say, small club, but plenty of fight, plenty of heart. Great bunch of volunteers out there keeping things alive, as well as the Roosters now go across the halfway line with first use of the football. And that's their 5'8", Lucas Davis. Riley Gamble is our referee today. He says that's the last tackle. Goes back to Burke. Burke kicks it long over the head of the fullback, Lagia. Lagia lets it go. In fact, it's too deep, and he'll get a 7-tackle set to come out of his end, the northern end here of the North Ipswich Reserve. Not much wind about, but different to last Saturday, Andrew.
Yeah, there's still a bit of a gust and a breeze, but yeah, I think they just got to probably adjust their game a bit. Like I said, that kick went a little bit too deep, so at least they got a flat defensive line now to work through. And like I said, there is a lot of support here for Rosewood. I even seen the local Ipswich City Councillor, Jim Madden, wearing his Rosewood Roosters supporter shirt. He just came into the gate supporting his community, which is good to see.
Turnover there. The Bears just drop it when they were coming out of their own half. Gamble lets Rosewood play on. This is the 4, Anthony Milton for the Roosters. 10 is McQuaid Paget, McQuaid Paget, one of their big men. Down the short side they go, try to link up with their other front row forward. Gamble says play on, 6-tackle restart for him. Touched by the Bears. Kurt is the other fronty for the Roosters. They come back to this side now. What have they got in their bag of tricks for us early stages of this preliminary final? A slight touch there. Gamble saw it. Knock on Rosewood. They're going to hand over the ball to the Bears. And a little bit of a nervous start from Rosewood.
Yeah, it looks like they're doubting themselves at the moment. Like I said, they're pushing passes that shouldn't be pushed. So it's going to take them a while to get into the groove. You know, like I said, we keep saying it is hard to play on this ground. You know, it's a big surface. It's an oval type surface, and people are not used to playing on these type of facilities. So it will take a while to get your boundaries. And
the Bears have made good use of this ball from the scrum. They got up to the halfway line before McQuaid Paget grabs him. No, sorry, that's Anthony Milton, the other centre 3/4. Bears sending one of their big men over the halfway line, 10, 12 metres into the attacking half they go now, Redbank Plains. It's a good recovery from that earlier mistake. This is the big number 20, Noah Tronk. Got one of the flashiest hairstyles I've seen going around box.
I can't comment on that.
We shouldn't make any comment on fashion or any sort of cosmetic looks. Both got faces for radio. As they earn themselves a penalty, Tronk is hobbling away there, the big man. They're going to need plenty out of him. This is his other front rower, Jeremiah Mackay. He's beaten one, he's still going. They're holding on to him grimly, just bring him down. Cody Waddington was the tackler. Just brought him down 12 metres out, almost dethroned his shorts off him. 11. It's Tulafawa. Tulafawa's going to get close. Is he going to go all the way, Tulafawa? Can they get underneath him? Held up, says Gamble. Knock on even. So Riley, the Mac Gamble with a big call there.
Yeah, it's good to see Rosewood. They digged in deep there in defence. You know, moved up off their line, and which is good to see. You know, they didn't sit on their goal line. They moved forward and then got underneath the front row to stop the try and then forced him to hand it over. So they need to roll their sleeves up. You know, Rosewood are a little bit undersized compared to the Redbank team, so they just probably need to be a little bit smarter, like they just did there, moving a little bit wider and using their speed to go around this big Redbank pack.
It's Davis. He looks good with the ball in hand. It's a few light-footed darts through the big Redbank Plains pack, had them retreating. They're 10 metres short of the halfway line before the dummy half. Wadswell, is it? Widgewell gets them on the front foot. That's a great kick. It's got Redbank scurrying back to grab it. There's plenty of red jumpers, though, when they look up. Good defence, good chase. That's a good sign of things to come from the Roosters. Attacking through their defence in the early stages of this semi-final, prelim final, in actual fact. That's the fullback, Legaya. It's a good run, gets them up to 12 metres short of the halfway line. Another scoop from dummy half. From Crooks, I think that is. Playing the centres. Trying to get close to that halfway line. Rosewood have been pretty good with their line speed. Gamble's got them back good 10 metres, but they've knocked it on. Good pressure. Tolofaya, the man who was only held up a few short moments ago, just fumbled that at the play the ball, and they're going to turn the ball over to the Roosters in good position.
Yeah, Rosewood, really good defensive set. You know, they had a good kick. It was nearly a 40-20, so they then attacked with their defence and was right in the face of Redbank and put the pressure on them, and they were able to force that error from Redbank through their defence, and now they're going on attack with their halfback Burke, who does a good run. Then the 6 Davis passes out to the O'Brien. He looks pretty good with ball to hand too as well. He's quite light on his feet.
Yeah, they've got a crafty spine, haven't they? Hopefully they can capitalise that, get them in good spot to really make a raid on the Bears' try line. They're in good position now. They can work their way upfield. If they go across field, that's not going to help. They just went over the shoulder, unfortunately, of Mocha. Robbie Mocha wasn't able to hang on to that one. And Gamble says we'll have a scrum 20 metres short of the halfway line for the Bears. They'll have the feed here, of course. The early stages are just a little bit of back and forth, just settling into this. Only 7 minutes gone, so nobody really shaping to have any ascendancy. As we say that, the ball comes out of the scrum. The Bears now on attack. Good defence from Davis, low. Good tackle. Get some help there as well from McQuaid Padgett of Noah. Come to the short side, trying to use a big man on a short pathway. No, there's no room in that corridor to be throwing passes like that. Unfortunately, changeover.
Yeah, another good defensive set, Redbank, for Rosewood. I mean, they in their line, that pass didn't need to be thrown. It was never going to go anywhere near it, and when it did go, it went forward anyway. So Redbank just need to settle down as well. So, like I said before, they're just sort of going to and fro at the moment, and just making a few unforced errors, and they'll hopefully both the first team that sort of stops making those errors will be the first team to probably score. But oh no, another mistake there. The lock Mitchell Wright has dropped the ball trying to take it out of the scrum. So yeah, like I said, it's they're trying to. Yeah, well, like I said, rugby league is a very simple game, and once they start trying to, oh god,
Redbank almost did the same thing as they try to trick each other, breaking from the scrum and going in the opposite direction. Rosewood Davis fumbled it there with Wright, but Redbank just held onto the ball enough to be 32 metres out from home. They're targeting the city end for points. Oh, the marker's jumped out early. Davis, he's going to be allowed to get away with that. Which way does Gamble say the knock-on occurred there? Was it the hand from Davis? No, he's got himself and his side loose head and feet, so snuffed out any chance of attacking or points from the Bears for the time being. Jumped out of dummy half. That can be sometimes one of those, for marker rather, for one of those 50-50 calls where he's just a little bit too quick and can be ruled offside. That's O'Brien. He's a danger for the Bears. You need to be up on him really quick. It's a little bit dusty. Just tripped and fell awkwardly there, maybe on an arm or wrist or something. McQuaid Padgett. This is Braden this time. Dummy half is Harry Widgewell. Keeps going down that right side for the Roosters. Four is Milton, Anthony Milton. Got a fair old rat's tail on him as well. To line all these blokes up and have a competition for the best haircut one of these days. Durant Kurt, he gets a ball back. Good support from his hooker forward, Widgewell. And gets a penalty as well. So Gamble not happy with the way they've tackled the young dummy half into the North Ipswich reserve turf. And this is good position for Rosewood.
Yeah, Rosewood just tap and go. If it was me, they got Redbank on the back foot. They don't seem much urgency for Rosewood. Rosewood just really need to get in there and want to match it with this bigger Redbank pack. But yeah, it's a decent run by the 11 Waddington. So quick play the ball to the hooker Widgewell, who then passes it out to the Burke, who then long ball to the centre Heater. And McQuaid Paget, and then scores in the corner. So that was a good set of good exchange of passes and using that width. Like what I said before, that's where they're going to be able to get around this massive Redbank pack.
Yeah, well, they'd be quite used to playing each other on a Friday night under lights, obviously, and Saturday afternoon at 1 o'clock. The conditions are a little bit warmer. The Redbank Bears a little bit larger in size. You might find that they're going a little bit tougher. And the young, nimble, lean spine of the Roosters just followed up their big men. And at one stage there, Widgewell, the dummy half, had to race up to be in position for a play the ball. I think it was Jerome Kurt ran up the middle of the reserve, got a really quick play the ball. The attacking line behind him had to race up to actually be in position. And that just gave them the front foot momentum they needed. Went wide, as you said, Andrew, and the result was there for all to see on the Bar TV device this afternoon. 4-0 the score, the kick to come. So that's a good opening salvo from the Roosters. Took a little while to get here, about 10 or 11 minutes before we saw the first points. It'd been a bit of a back and forth sort of arm wrestle for the opening stanza. But it'll be the Roosters will go into the scorebook first. And a chance here for Josh Burke to extend that lead. Tough kick. See what he's got. We know he can kick the distance. Is the radar or something we'll have to work on before next time. But I don't think the Bears got too much to panic about. That's only the first try. Of course, it's taken a little while to get here. If they can hang on to the ball, there's been a few nerves, perhaps a bit of rust to blow out since last week, maybe. I don't know. Can't really use that excuse when they've probably played 15, 16 times through the course of a year now. So you can't really say they're not know how to find their rhythm or their pattern of play or the excitement of a finals, you think, would also give them that just lifted energy and adrenaline. And if I had $1 for every time the league safe was caught out without bringing a kicking tee out, I'd be a very rich commentator. But unfortunately, we'll just have to keep it on tally marks for the time being. But that's the first for the afternoon. There'll be plenty more, no doubt. 5 games back-to-back on your Bar TV coverage this afternoon. And that's not the greatest start after points for Burke. He just puts that one down, fairly easy take.
Yeah, he probably didn't have a right to catch that. He should have let it go because it was over his head, and then it was always going to he was always going to drop it the way it was looking because he just wasn't in that right position. And they just need to. He probably should have let it go and let it for that person behind. But anyway, Redbank had just got the scrum and Lagar's just taken that first hit up off the scrum.
Yeah, good position. To the right of the uprights they are, 10 metres out. And he didn't play the ball correctly in the view of Riley Gamble. So not going to allow tunnel balls this afternoon. As indicated by his signal there. Need to touch the ball, young Logan. And he'll remember that next time, no doubt. Such a shame for the Bears. I mean, really good attacking position there. But the ball now in the hands of the Rosewood Roosters. And they'll start things off on 21 metres short of the halfway line. Through Davis. Being prominent with the ball in hand. Does he tap and go? Does he use one of his big men? No, he uses his fullback, O'Brien. He's one of his Ferraris. I don't know. You shouldn't be using a Ferrari for demolition work, but there you have it. 10. He should have been the man to get Braden McQuaid Paget. He struggles there to find himself 11 metres short of the halfway line. Widgewell. This is Burke. He needs to make up for that drop. He gets the side within 5 metres. Again, just using their fullback and halfback to take one out hit up, so we need to be finding their forwards and putting them to work. Here's one of them now over the halfway line goes Waddington, Cody Waddington. Davis at dummy half. Across to Burke. Burke links up with his dummy half with Widgewell, Harry Widgewell. Pushes away from a couple of big fellas, probably twice his size. He's a little dancer on his feet, isn't he? He's going to be dangerous in the back end of this half. If he gets a little bit of ball, this is Burke. O'Brien, if he can get around his man, the Redbank Plains halfback. He's forced a pass from O'Brien. Again, tries to make another tackle. That's great work from Liam Stevenson. Great energy. Wraps things up. Last tackle turnover, Andrew.
Yeah, it was good defence there by Redbank. They kept moving up on him and kept sliding. Rosewood probably should have got that kick away then. They probably regret doing that. I see the fullback O'Brien was shaping to kick, but then decided to put it out wide, which probably in hindsight he won't do that again, because I said they need to kick into the corners and get their Redbank coming out of their own line.
Tyus Anissa, what a great run from him for the Bears. They get it well and truly on the front foot now. They're shedding tackles at will, the Bears. 30 metres out from the city end. Finally brought to ground. Dummy half is Dugdale, Jackson Dugdale. He's got one of his big men holding the ball out in his left hand. He's got 3 Roosters hanging off him, including Duran Kurt. Oh, that's flat pass. No, forward. He was the block runner. He wasn't supposed to get it. I think even he was surprised he had to reach back behind him and grab it in one hand. Looks like a younger version of Denman RU in that Redbank jersey.
Yeah, Rosewood got away with that one a bit. Redbank started to get that roll on and started to get a fair bit of possession and making some good ground, and then Rosewood just not being able to execute there and handing that ball back over to Rosewood. But let's hope Rosewood learn from that last mistake and get to their kick on that last tackle.
Again, using their smaller, nippier men to try to find a kink in the armour of the Redbank Plains defence. I need to go forward before they can go sideways, though. O'Brien is going to have to take this tackle. No, he gets another ball away. No, called held. Knock on, actually. Wow, that's an interesting call from Gamble. He says he saw a little bobble there. O'Brien's a bit sore and sorry for himself. He's finally to his feet. Play will go on. So, 20 metres into the attacking half of the Bears, so a good chance for them to set their line up deep and out to the left. They're flat at the moment, but maybe there's another trick play coming from the scrum to go down the blind side. No, they go open side. Legaya off the left foot, off the right foot. He's beat the second, Rosewood the third. Rosewood before McQuaid Padgett grabs him. Braden McQuaid Padgett slow to his feet as the guy. Maybe they do come this near side again. Pass to a flat-footed forward out in front of him, expecting him to run onto the ball. He reached for it and he put it down box.
Yeah, that was a great run by Lagar. He just he looks really well when stepping off both feet, and looked very elusive when he had that ball. But then Redbank just really lacking that urgency to get that ball. They should be, they're not moving forward, and they look like they're just going through the motions. But they can't keep doing this, especially we're 10 minutes before half time. They're behind on the scoreboard, so it's not like they're in front. So they need to start competing and showing a little bit more commitment out there.
They're going to stay flat-footed too. The likes of O'Brien, Davis, Burke, Widgewell, they're going to tear them to shreds in this 11 or so minutes till half time, you would think. Rose would get into some good position. This is Davis now. He's trying to take on the defensive line, just digging into the line a little bit. It's hammered there. Watolafoa. Over the halfway line they go now. Can they get the Redbank Plains defence moving left and right? And Tafoa finally grabs his man. It's Mitchell Wright's the 13. Through Davis now. Now this is Burke with a high up and under. A bit of a breeze. Just Richard Legay's dropped it. He's also dropped his head. He needs to fall on that loose ball. Rosewood could have come through and just kept that on the carpet. Andrew kicked it ahead. He's got to be a bit more alert than that.
That also looks like got a shower of rain coming through from everyone's moving in the grandstand. But like I said before, they don't really seem to be into the game at the moment. They need to get some message out there, boys. There's no next week after today, so you know, we need to not leave anything in the tank and start competing a bit better and start gelling. And, you know, like I said, these kids would have been playing together against each other all year. We shouldn't be, you know, doing things like that. But then, yeah, O'Brien had a great run from that scrum and coming up on the inside trying to find a defence.
Davis down the short side. He dodges one before he's just picked off for a couple of Bears, including Tolafoa again. This is Widgewell. He tries to find his big man. He's just charging through the middle. Can he get the ball down? Gamble likes it. Gerard Kurt. Half of Rosewood Township, I think, erupts here at the North Ipswich Reserve. Watching a very gallant, undermanned Rosewood just led 2 punches on Redbank Plains now. 10 minutes short of the half time. 8-0 they lead. Well, that's just a great effort from Gerard Kurt. We've seen him take some great metres up the middle of the reserve earlier. And inside the red zone, inside the 20-metre zone, that was all set up nicely for a big man with a crash play, and he dragged a couple of Bears over the line. Great try.
Yeah, they like I said, you know, Redbank just seem to be turning up and expecting they're going to win this game and they're going to be able to just, you know, Rosewood are just going to lay down. But no, Rosewood aren't laying down at the moment. Like I said, and like I said before, they're being a little bit smarter, going a little bit wider, working Redbank on the edges, just outside their big forward pack and finding some space and getting some ground. But like I said, Redbank keep making mistakes. They've had opportunities down the Rosewood end, but they just keep making the mistakes. They're making mistakes at both ends of the field. So, Redbank just need to, you know, switch on. Say, you know, we're only down by 8 points, nearly 9 minutes before half time. You know, we're not out of this game, but if we don't start stepping up, we'll, you know, like I said, there's no next week. There's all you're gonna have to worry about is what about next season.
That's right. Pre-season starts tomorrow for the losers, unfortunately. It's a long 6 months before they get to right the ship. It's going to be a difficult kick as well for Burke, Josh Burke. Took one from a similar position with the first try and just skewed it to the left. Well and truly, so you need to have adjusted the radar since that time. Gamble's happy that Tolafoa is in the hands of a trainer. I'm just going to go back and let Burke take this conversion attempt now. Yeah, you'd have to say, Andrew, I agree with you 100%. Redbank Plains just haven't come out with the energy that their coaching staff would probably like to see them displaying at this time. This is a preliminary final. Winner takes all. There are no tomorrows. Whatever cliche you want to throw into the mix. And they just haven't responded to that as yet. So hopefully the Warner runners are getting a message out to them that there's no point coming off the field after this and watching a kick like that and whinging you didn't give it your all. Josh Burke has certainly given his all there, corrected the radar well and truly. That never deviated off a line that was only ever going over the black dot. So Rosewood now out to a 10-point lead, under 10 minutes till half time. The Bears need to respond here. They need to get some football. They need to hold on to it, complete a set of 6. There hasn't been too much of that this afternoon from the Redbank Plains Bears.
Speaking about local Ipswich City Council, I can see over there the other Ipswich City Council for Rosewood snuck himself on the officials bench over there, sitting beside the superstar of the Melbourne Storms, Dane McQueen, in the orange. So Mr. Martin there chewing Dane's ear off at the moment. So yeah, good luck to Dane. We'll send some earplugs over your way.
Survive anything, yeah. Oh, I think Councillor Martin will be inquiring about his favourite player, Josiah Palu. When is he going to get a run for the Storm? Loves Josiah. And he loves Ipswich. Like, there wouldn't be too many. You can make all the jokes about Mardo all we like, but there wouldn't be too many who wears his heart on his sleeve about Ipswich and everything about it as much as he does. And Rosewood is very much a part of the territory that he looks after. This is the 14 now for the Roosters. Stelling. It's Xavier Stelling on the field. Nehemiah Heta will go with. Apologies to the family. I get that one quite right. 13 is Mitchell Wright. Over the red line of the 20 metres. He goes. Trying to get out of the city end. They're tough going so far, but This is Harry Ridgewell. He's been good for them. 11 metres short of the halfway line. He'll play the ball to Davis, to Burke. Burke links up with one of his forwards, Cody Waddington's had a few good touches. This last one's going to finish 10 metres short of the halfway line on the last tackle. Burke tries to get inside that defender. That's a great... His opposite number, Liam Stevenson, wraps him up on the last tackle. Doesn't get a kick away. And the Bears get the ball with 41 metres to travel for points. That's a great result from Stevenson. He's trying to inspire something in his troops. Wake them up. Get the Bears out of hibernation. They need to ignite. Can they find something in this set of 6? Through Julian Malifa, who's wrestling away from the Roosters finally comes to rest. 31 metres out. 13 is Oscar Solly. Solly gets us to 25 metres. Good quick play of the ball up to his feet. Sends another big man in Noah Tronk. Back, he's dropped that, has he? Gamble hasn't seen it. Does his touch judges alert him to it? They do. It's near side touch judge. Had a great view of it. Was quickly jumped onto it. Said, Riley, that one's come out the other side of him, mate. You might have seen it.
Yeah, it was good work by the referee and touch judges picking up that ball that Riley couldn't see. But like I said, Redbank's, they're their own worst enemy at the moment. You know, they just get that opportunity. They start to get that roll on after the second or third tackle, and then they make those simple errors. So, yeah, it's frustrating. I think there might be a very stern words from the Redbank coaching staff here at half time, but like I said, Rosewood still aren't they'll throw this ball around off their own line to try and put another try on before half time.
They seem to be running at will here at the moment. Far too much space for Robbie Mocha there before Noah Tronk grabs a collar of his jersey, just pulls him up. Davis, as he link up again with outside man. It's over the shoulder tackle on right, was it? Was it high? Yeah, it was high. So, of course, under 15s, we're still playing a safe play code, so you can't tackle above the badge or the armpit. That one just came in over the shoulder, so Rosewood will get a free 10 metres by foot and start things off right on the halfway line. It's a fraction over 5 minutes to go in this first half. It's all been Rosewood for this last 20 minutes or so. It was a bit of an arm wrestle until Rosewood settled into some possession and throwing the ball around, as Andrew said. That's a good first run. Burke. This is that man Kurd again. He's been good. He's troubled the bigger Redbank players. There's 5 or 6 that he's checked through already in this run. On the front foot they are now. 11 metres out. Is there another try before half-time? Burke says, let me show the way. He steps off his right foot, almost grubbers for himself. He faked a kick and kept the ball. They've pulled him down 8 metres out. They've got their backs turned on this near side. They go this way, the Roosters. A little bit of space and a couple of slow forwards just running backwards and retreating the full 10, but they need to keep their eye on the ball. Davis probably a little bit too much on that, has he? There's a chaser there, but that's going to beat everybody over the dead ball line. Unfortunate end of the 6 there, Andrew.
Yeah, a little bit impatient there. They had the numbers. There wasn't a defender past the right upright, so they scored most of their tries going wider and outside. So Liam Stevenson's just taken the tap, ran through the Rosewood defence untouched and scored under the post. Now hit back Rosewood 10, Redbank 4 with the kick to come right under the post. Probably turned that into 6. So wow, it's rugby league. It's a game of inches. They like I said, if I went 2 passes wide of the ruck, they probably would have scored. But then now make that mistake, and it's nearly a 12-point turnaround.
Very much. It always looked like if there was going to be points that were going to come from Liam Stevenson. I thought he might coordinate things. I didn't realise he was going to do it all himself, but coach would be quite happy with him. I think Andrew and I were preparing ourselves for what a massive spray from the Redbank Plains coach to get their boys ignited, but mightn't need to say too much now as Liam Stevenson's done that through his actions. Quick tap restart, just a couple of light-footed steps through some tired forwards, I suppose, for the Roosters, and he was off to the races. Good chase from Riley Jeffrey Marshall, but it was all in vain. It was always Stevenson and Daylight second. And his halves partner, Laviki Sheriff's going to step up and hopefully make no mistake. Just close that deficit a little bit more. And a bit more comfortable going to Oranges, only 4 points behind. And they'll get possession after this, of course, from the kickoff. So there may be some more points in Redbank. Does that inspire them? Does that wake them up? Possibly. This next set of 6 is really important for the Bears to show their intent. I want to see the Roosters go to their coaching staff at halftime, concerned about having awakened the big Bears pack. Stevenson tries converted by Sheriff. The Vicky Sheriff closes that gap to 10 points to 6. Roosters with 90 seconds to reflect behind the goalpost. Probably just need to have a chat about let's keep our middle nice and tight. We don't create holes for quick tap restarts by the halfback. Make sure we're alert to that.
I think they were just waiting to half time. Thought they were good to half time. We don't need to do any more. So you just can't fall asleep, and you can't miss tackles like that. Oh no, the big fella Noah Tronks just dropped the ball off the kickoff, and 90 seconds to go. Rosewood will be packing this scrum pretty quickly if I was them, and having one shot at them.
A little bit less time at the hairdresser and more time on working on his ball handling for Tronk. I think that's a couple of drop balls from the big fella. On the contact too. The first one when he hit the ground, the second one there when he hit a wall of red jumpers. But big fella's got to hang on to those, especially straight after points too. You're just given 60, 70 seconds to your opposition to see if they can hit back. And likes of Burke here dancing through, already beaten 2 tacklers. You've got Kurt in the 8, Davis now come to this short side, trying to orchestrate things with his fullback. His lock forward Mitchell Wright. There's their points left in them. Under a minute to go. Cross to Burke. Burke links up with the 11. That's Waddington. Kobe Waddington. He's tackled there by a couple of Bears. Stop there by Tuafusi Fale. They go wide now. Out the back through 12 for Rosewood. Robbie Mocha. 16 is the man who stopped Riley. Jeffrey Marshall. They keep going down the short side through Burke. He's trying to link up with his centre out there. Good, strong tackle by that man Stevenson, Liam Stevenson. Last tackle. Now, one of the Roosters got 10 seconds on the clock. This will be the last play of the first half, you'd think. Burke's going to grubber it into the end goal. Good chase, but well diffused there by Jeremiah Mackay. And you hear who to go in the background. That's the first half completed for our first of our preliminary finals here. 5 back-to-back on Bar TV this afternoon. Andrew and I are going to take a break, and we'll be back shortly to bring you all the second half action of what is our under-15 preliminary final at the Jets Leagues Club division, the Challenge Cup division. Rosewood 10, leading Redbank Plains 6. North Ipswich Reserve, Saturday afternoon football, under 15 preliminary final. Winner takes all of this Jets Leagues Club Development Challenge. And Rosewood will be pretty happy with things, having gone to Oranges, leading the Bears 10 points to 6. They're going to kick things off for us to get the second half underway. We are 30 minutes away from finding out who goes into the grand final this time next Saturday afternoon. Bears, like I say, the first use of the ball over the halfway line. That's a good charge. Hopefully they've got the message from the coaching staff to Parsi Farley's certainly got one. And there's Tronk with another charge. Great run. Good follow-up after one bookend. Comes another. They're over the 20-metre line, 30-metre line, rather. He's held onto the ball too, Big Noel, which is good for his confidence. Lost the handle on the last couple. This is good for the Bears. Their 5-8's broken through. The number 6 is Peretti. Sheriff is the man, obviously, with the ball, and he's gone over the line untouched. So that's a great start. Certainly what the doctor ordered for the Bears as they lock things up. 10 points all.
Yeah, the Redbank coach must have gave him a bit of a spray, and they've listened and come out with a lot of energy and a lot of purpose and in running. So yeah, they didn't do that in that first half. So and we're calling it all the way through. That's all they need to do. They need to get a bit of passion and get a bit of hunger to win and to run onto that ball and coming out 90 seconds into this second half, they listened to their coach and turned that into 4 points. So now it's scores are all locked up 10-all now, and now Rosewood need to sort of dig in deep and think of, like I said, that was a pretty ordinary missed tackle, similar to their last try. They just need to tighten up their defence and work a little bit harder. And it's a good start from Redbank.
Sheriff's going to step up and try to convert his own try, Laviki Sheriff. And all of a sudden, with a small change of attitude, a couple of minutes into the second half, they might find themselves in front here if Sheriff is able to pilot this one through.
Yeah, Sheriff's lining up that this kick. He's kicked a little bit harder than the one he kicked in front before, so that breeze is still swirling around here at ground level at the moment. That light shower rain that came through before is now gone. The sun's back out again, so he's just about to line up. Strikes it and shanks it a bit to the left. So a bit like my golf, which hasn't happened for a long time. But he just a bit of a shank that one. So it's Redbank. Haven't taken the lead, but it's good to see Rosewood all running up, wanting to take this kick off and try to improve from that last 90 seconds defensive effort.
Yeah, they need to really make 6 good tackles here, don't they? I think Coach Josh Hassett would be pretty keen to see them. Oh, they might even get the ball back here. Yeah, clever little kick, dinky little kick, great bounce, just caught up in the lush outfield there of the North Ipswich Reserve. And it just pitched nicely, didn't it? And just good chase. I mean, you've got to be there to make your own luck, haven't you? It was just Johnny on the spot, jumped on the footy, and away we go. We're on the attack. We're charging towards the city end through Mitchell Wright. He's caught 25 metres out. That's a good defensive attitude by the Bears. Gamble doesn't like it, however. Can't be lifting players. Big Noah Tronka's the man penalised. Just a reminder, once again, safe play code for games under 15 or 16 years of age. Gamble, an experienced referee at this level. And this is Braden McQuaid Padgett. He's just pushed back by a couple of Bears, including Ashton Bell. McKinley, Ashton Bell. They go down the short side towards that scoreboard corner through Davis, who's very dominant in the first half, the 5'8". Burke at halfback, O'Brien at fullback. They were the spine, and they were the ones that trying to ignite things. This is Wright. Mitchell Wright goes back towards the scoreboard corner. He's pushed away from 1 or 2, but he was met by Noah Tronk. And with some help, he gets Wright back onto the 10-metre line. Just to the left of the uprights, they're going to come across the face of those through Burke. Burke's trying to link up with an outside man, the 16 for the Roosters. Riley, Jeffrey Marshall. He's pushed back there by the Bears. Liam Stevenson, the halfback. This is O'Brien down the middle. Someone left the front door open. He went straight down the middle. And he's just grabbed a jumper and pulled him down 5 metres out. This is the last play. Davis just grabs it into the end goal. It's touched by one of the Bears, but Stevenson's there to tidy things up. Gets back into the field of play. Great effort from Liam Stevenson.
Yeah, Rosewood looked a little bit pedestrian attack there. They looked a little bit disorganised there, and they weren't, even when they were wanting to run the ball, they really weren't that deep and didn't look too enthusiastic. So they actually look. It's a polar opposite. Rosewood are playing a bit like Redbank did in the first half, and Redbank's playing like Rosewood is. So they got a lot of urgency, and then now they got the penalty, and then got a chance of extending themselves down the field just past the 30-metre line now.
Yeah, Crooks, he's the man to come over and grab the footy as well. He was showing some energy there, and early side of penalty, trying to get a quick restart. Rosewood slow to get off him. He's got the right calf with the compression going on it. This is Legaya. Legaya we saw in the first half. It's got some light-footed. Legaya gets us up to the halfway line. Slow to his feet, probably just a little bit dusty from that tackle. The Bears now setting their big men into work. This is Tafasi Farley. 30 metres from home, charging towards the northern end of the Bears. They go across field to that sort of basin pocket corner of the North Ipswich Reserve. The ball's come out. Drop, says Gamble. Well, there was 2 men in the tackle. They were trying to get to their feet to play the ball quickly. Thomas Wills. And unfortunately for Thomas, Riley Gamble said that ball's come out unaided, and the Roosters are going to get a loose end feed here. So that's a bit of a get-out-of-jail card for the Roosters.
I must have been talking too soon before. They've just done what they did in the first half. They dropped that ball. They were on that possession. They had that roll on. And they just kept going and going. And if they kept it from, it's always second, third tackle. They lose unforced errors. So yeah, let's hope. And then the ball's just popped out of the Rosewood. It's sixth again. There's a Riley. No, he hasn't called six again, so it must have been dropped out by themselves. Wasn't a hand there, but good run by the front row of 10, which is McQuaid Paget. The Rowan O'Brien getting a quick play of the ball earns his team a penalty, and he's done a lot of work. O'Brien, a lot of hit ups. Like I said, he's not the smallest. He's not the biggest person in the team, but he's playing above his weight, and he's walking around at the moment like he's in a bit of pain because he's taken those hit ups like a front rower. He looks like he's a bit of a rib issue or a shoulder. So, but he's just got to stop taking those hit ups and let the big fellas do it.
Shed a load around there, Rowan. You just chime in when the ball comes back for that second phase play. He's just sort of been hanging around Burke and Davis and waiting for a ball to pop out from his big men. Here's one of them now, the 10. This is Braden McQuaid Paget. There's plenty of hit-ups, plenty of tackles from Braden. Changing hooker now. Benji Matthews is on the field. This is Stelling. Xavier Stelling is just in the middle of the reserve. 20 metres out, they are the Roosters. A few more tackles up their sleeves yet. What have they got? Davis, he goes wide to Milton, Anthony Milton. We saw play on the right side in the first half. He stayed on that side of the field playing left centre now. Oh, Milton's leg was lifted. He was going to be put on his backside. He was able to keep his feet. They keep going towards that scoreboard corner through Davis. He props and stops off that left leg. He's got Legaya to beat. Other Bears arrive and push him back. Crossfield now they come. What have they got in the way of Burke? Has he got another kick? It's a little bit of a softer touch. It's still going to be too deep, is it? I think it got a Bears touch on the way through. It did. So they're going to get the ball back to the Roosters, and that's a good result, Andrew.
Yeah, it was good. They were struggling a bit, and it looks like the Redbank defence is fair few guys with hands on hips at the moment. They've just got to watch. Rosewood got to watch for their short kickoff here. They're not ready for it at the moment. They were very lucky that it had a very high bounce and it didn't and they used that wind at their leisure. But Rosewood look a bit disorganised at the moment and a bit pedestrian. There a lot of people standing around waiting for someone else to take it. But someone from Rosewood needs to take the scruff of this game by its neck and then start leading these boys around.
Davis and the Burke and other men to do it. This is the 11. Good run by Waddington, Cody Waddington. 8 metres out. As much as you say that about the Rosewood side, the Redbank defence isn't moving all that well either, Andrew. And Ken Burke or Davis just weave their magic through. Another short kick, a good chase from Mitchell Wright. What a try for the Rosewood Roosters. Gets them back in front. 20 minutes to play in this prelim final. Davis and Burke have tried those short kicks to the end goal a couple of times earlier. Burke in particular. They've gone a little bit too deep on occasion, but that one perfectly weighted and a great chase by Mitchell Wright.
Yeah, I can't believe it. I was shaking my head as soon as he kicked it because they've done it 3 times. They've done it 3 times and failed miserably, but it was perfect. Like I said, it was weighted perfectly, bounced perfectly, straight into his lap, and then turned into a great try. Yeah, Rosewood looked a little bit disorganised, but like I said before, Davis, is a great kick, but yeah. Redbank still look a bit exhausted at the moment. There's a few guys sitting down and exhausted now, and they need to build on this momentum, and especially after this kickoff, get that ball on the full, and then trying to keep going at this game and keep throwing it at Stevenson. Sorry, he was the man. Oh yeah, no, it's not. And like I said, he scored the 60-metre try. So yeah. It's going to be a cracking game out here at the moment, and hope you guys are at home and watching it, enjoying it on Bar TV on your device or whatever you're watching this at home.
As Burke adds the extras, there's a wonderful summary there by Andrew on the Redbank Plains, reflecting behind the goalpost there while that kick was being taken, and a lot of big fellas with hands on hips, and then you look in the middle of the huddle and Liam Stevenson's on his backside in the middle of it. You think, well, that's the man that needs to provide the spark. He's got the kick-off tee now, coming back to the halfway line. Half a limp, half a stumble, half a stride. I'm not sure what to make of Liam walking back up there. He doesn't look fully fit.
He's got a calf.
He's got a calf, compression garment on his calf, his right calf there. He's a right foot kicker, and he's got a right quad heavily strapped as well. So not 100% fit, but that's where the spark's got to come from. He's got a big set of forwards. He needs to steer him around. And I do think that's what Burke capitalised on with that short kick into the in goal. Turn those big boys around. They didn't respond in time for Mitchell Wright, who had his skates on, and beat everybody to the ball. If Rose would get back in position again, I'm sure that's the play they'll go to, as these big bears tire. As it gets hotter, it gets sunnier. Clouds starting to dissipate a little bit more. Blue sky starting to appear over the reserve. This is Rosewood now trying to do the grind, do the graft, get out of their own half. Pass behind Davis, but he recovers well. This is Kurt again. He was strong in the first half. Him and Braden McQuaid-Padgett, that is, were very good for the Roosters in the forwards. 2 bookends, one after another, hitting things up. This is the Roosters now in possession. 15 metres short of the halfway line they are. The middle of North Ipswich Reserve. They've got options both sides. They come to this near side. They turn Braden McQuaid-Padgett under. He goes back towards where the play the ball was. Gets away from one bear. Gets going. Now he's got a head of steam up before he crashes into big bear in waiting, which is Faumu. Ollie Faumu just grabs him a big bear hug and stops him dead in his tracks. This is Burke. Good kick. But the Bears take it on the full, 20 metres short of the halfway line. So it's good territory to start their next set of 6. Andrew through Peretti.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad kick. It needed to find ground, but Redbank got a bit of a roll on here. Two big hit-ups. They're up to the halfway now. So it's and then another quick dart from dummy half. Rosewood from Lagara, and then Rosewood aren't moving up in their defensive line at the moment. They've sort of fallen asleep. They look a bit exhausted at the moment. And the big front row, Mackay, is just looking like a roaming 5'8". They're showing the ball, and they're back on that roll. And then you've got Sheriff there, a kick to no one. It's come off legs, and then the Thomas Wills got a picked the ball up 6 again. But then referee Gamble has called a penalty. It looks like a double movement called by the Mac Track referee Riley Gamble. Like I said, he's in a lot better position than I am. He was right there, and it's great to see referee. And he didn't even look at his touch judges because he seen it with his own eyes and says, "Yep, that's a double movement." But it's good to see the confidence of these young referees now that can just make these calls without having to think of anyone else. But Rosewood sort of got away with that one at the moment. They were under the pump there. Now they've got to come off their own line now.
Well, they don't want to fall into this trap of defending their lead. They're only 6 points ahead. We have a quarter of an hour left in this, a quarter of the game. This is where Burke and Davis, O'Brien, they really need to come into their own. Stevenson with a strong tackle on the Roosters. They're trying to inspire his troops. Time off, says Gamble. We're going to need a trainer attend to that player. Strong right shoulder of Liam Stevenson has just left a Rosewood player flat on his back. 20 metres short of the halfway line they are, the Roosters, when the clock has stopped. I want to get inside the head of both coaches here, Andrew. Just take an opportunity. What you think, firstly, Josh Hashett for the Roosters. What's he thinking right now?
Oh, I think they just got to, like you said before, don't worry about the scoreboard. They just need to do what they've been doing to get them to 16 points in front at the moment. They don't have to chase the points, but they also can't fall asleep. I think what they need to do is just maintain their defensive line and just work for each other in defence, because the attack will come, and you don't, like I said, they don't need to score. All they need to do is defend for the next 14 and a half minutes for each other, because it's 14 and a half minutes, and if they don't do that, their season's over. But that's not good for Rosewood. Lucas Davis, one of their better organisers. He's walking off at the moment with limping like a lower leg injury there.
If I'm Josh Hashett right now, I'm Googling miracle cures for ankle injuries. Because Lucas Davis is the man I need out there. He needs to be the foil to Burke, to Josh Burke. One man either side of the bruck, just to move these big bears around. I can't have all the pressure double teaming Burke, because it just won't work. Not at this level, not at this end of the season. This is the last three teams, the best three teams in the under-15 Jets Leagues Club Development Challenge. There's a kick from the Roosters. Does it land in touch? It does on the fall. Well, I think was it Burke or Widgewell's boot just came off the right-hand side of it, unfortunately. And Gamble's going to give the ball back to the Bears 10 metres into the attacking half.
That's not what Coach Hashett wanted. And like I said, it was a good kick, and if it got into touch and found, it was what they wanted, but it just didn't execute it to the capacity. Now they're just handing that ball over and giving Redbank it's a great run by Tupasi Farley into the other second rower. Can't see his number at the moment, but number 18, which is Faunu. Good run, dummy half. Zach Thorne had a bit of a look, and then put on his backside, and then we got the 8 Tuapasasi Farley off to Sheriff. Did kick through, and then looks like he was tackled after the kicker there and given away a penalty, which is a relief for Redbank. Now they've got another set of 6 to build that pressure.
Indeed, it was our man Liam Stevenson, so the Vicky Sheriff is out there as well, so it'll be the 6 and the 7 for the Bears against the 6 and the 7 of Rosewood, with Davis. Well, didn't even get time to finish the statement as the Bears crash over with the first chance they've got with the restart. Gamble's looking at the point of scoring. Yes, he awards it. Ollie Faumu has been awarded a try, so big Ollie's crashed over there, jersey number 18. And the Bears now back to 14, trailing Rosewood 16, and a kick to come. So this is a good result. I didn't get to talk to you about the Rosewood coach, but the Redbank Plains coach, but they'd be really happy with what Big Ollie's done there, Andrew.
Yeah, he just got into and just had a bit of a shimmy and a little small step off either foot, and then was able to get between 2 Rosewood defenders and score. But like I said, they paid the ultimate price for that kick going out on the full. So that's the difference. Those tiny parts of the game, those small things, those small mistakes, turned into 4 points. And then, like I said, they gave that penalty away, piggybacked them down the field, and like I said, they just need to defend against those errors. Like I said, they're still in front at the moment. There's 11 minutes to go. We've got a kick from 10, 15 metres from the touch line from Stevenson. Wonder how bad that calf and that his thigh is after, if he can make that distance. He was limping before, but interesting to see how this strike goes. He strikes it really well, and flags are up. It's all locked up here for the Jets Leagues Club under 15 preliminary final, 16 all.
Well, we might be headed for extra time and overtime for commentators. Well, a good referee doesn't allow golden point. That's what I've been told. So we'll see where they can take us. Riley Gamble, the Mack truck. Best looking touch judge in his own view, his own comments. So will he be able to manufacture a result from here? Shouldn't say too much. I'm sure the result's in the hands of the players. They're going to cut out these errors. Well, that's a great little kick again. They've got it to pitch and spin back and retain possession. So this is a great start for Rosewood. A little 9-9. We want to leave that in the bag every week. That's a great start. And now Anthony Milton gets thrown on his backside. That's tackle 2. This is Burke. I can't help but thinking with Davis off the field, there was more pressure on Burke, and that's what caused him to kick the ball out of the full, and a try resulted to the Bears from it. But that's all fish and chip wrapper now as we move on to the present time. They've got possession. They've got Burke out there. Hopefully O'Brien can step up here as well. That's him now with the headgear in possession. He comes across field, beats one, trying to get through the second tackle, get another ball out to his 5. That's Hayden Blood. He stays at dummy half. He's trying to orchestrate something there from dummy half as he scoots away from Crooks. Crooks showing some of that energy we saw at the start of this half, but a little bit too over-exuberant as he grabs O'Brien high. Probably accentuated by the way how hard he hit the ground too as he fell, O'Brien. So a bit of a double whammy when you get tackled hard and thrown heavily to the ground.
Yeah, good urgency there of Rosewood, especially for O'Brien. Giving his team that lift. They rolled the dice with that kick over that short kickoff yet again, and it worked. So which was great, and then also showing that urgency, get out of dummy half, trying to pinch a offside penalty, but then copped a high tackle there because of his speed and his elusiveness. So it's good to see him getting that penalty now. Looks like referee Gamble has sin binned the 4, Jacoby Crooks. So looks like Redbank will be playing with 12 men for the rest of this game. So 16 all. It's a grandstand finish here. It looks like they're going to go for the 2, and that's going to be interesting to see what happens. Like I said, the crowd is starting to get a bit boisterous. It's all tied up here, 16 all with 8 minutes to go, and it's going to be game on.
We got ourselves a game of footy here, Bar TV viewers. Grandstand finish coming up. You would have to say under 7 minutes by the time this ball gets kicked off again. This, of course, is a live football. They're going for a penalty conversion, so if Burke doesn't pilot it through and it stays in the field of play, Redbank Plains can use the ball from here. Well, let's consider the positive outcome. He kicks it. They go ahead by 2. We go back to a kick-off situation, Rosewood in possession. How decisive could those 2 kickoffs be where they regather possession? He misses it. The ball stays live, but it goes dead. So there'll be a drop out from the quarter line, the 20-metre line. Bit of a throwback to the old days. I'll say there's a drop out from the quarter line, but it's from the 20-metre line these days. And Stevenson will be the man asked to kick it, you'd think. Or no, he's going to ask his sheriff the 5'8", to do it.
Yeah, I don't think Redbank knew the rules. They could have caught that ball in goal and ran it out, but they let it go to go dead. Now knowing they have to kick it back out because they assumed that they were actually going to got the tap. So which is oh no, it's another penalty in front. So these young fellas need to learn the rules and understand the rules. these fine rules is it's a play the ball, I think, isn't it? I don't know. It's a penalty.
I'll tell you who knows the rules. That's Josh Burke. As soon as he saw that, I was watching him. He walked very swiftly up towards the referee and said, "I'm taking the 2, sir, as I'm entitled to do. This time I'll make a better effort, no doubt." 16 all. He's learnt from that last kick. Redbank Plains find themselves on the ropes again.
Are they going to catch the ball on the foot?
Well, you'd like to think so. They've learnt from that last mistake. I hope the water runner came out and said, "Hey, boys, you can catch that. It's a live ball. If he's missed the kick, it's play on. You don't watch it dribble over the dead ball line and think you're going to get a 20-metre restart. It's a penalty. You've been penalised. You can't take advantage of that."
But this doesn't happen normally during the round.
No, it's a rare occurrence. I'll give you that, yeah. Is it a rare occurrence that Burke misses 2 in a row? Yes, it is, because he pilots that one through. And they get notices back in front. And now you're thinking Liam Stevenson will kick off with probably 5.5 minutes remaining. Does he go short, Andrew Boxall, or does he kick long and chase hard?
Oh, I think they'll go short again. I think that's just... Or they'll try and kick towards the touchline to get that repeat after... do that grub. I'd be kicking it to the grandstand side towards us here and then trying to get 10 or 15 metres short, kick it as hard as you can, as low as you can to get that repeat. But, that's what I'd be doing because I can't see him. It looks like he's going to kick long the way he's taken. Well, I'd be in a hurry because at the end of the day they're behind on the scoreboard. You're playing into Rosewood's hands.
I know, look, they're only 15 years of age. He's let the ball roll off the tee as well, so he's taken his time setting up for this. We've lost a good 30 seconds in, potential time in possession. We need to have the football to score. We're about to kick it away. You'd want to do that quickly. Now he wants someone to hold it. Goodness me, what goes through these water runners' heads? They should be talking to these kids and trying to coach them through. As much as they're not supposed to be out there coaching. This is a preliminary final. This is winner takes all. It hasn't gone the 10 metres. No, back we go again to the halfway line. Riley Gamble says penalty Rosewood, which is the third one in a row for a kicking infringement. They didn't take the first kick. They let it go dead. They had to drop one out. The dropout didn't go 10 metres. They were penalised. The kick-off subsequently from the penalty conversion of Burke doesn't go 10 metres. They were penalised again. So they're really got to understand the fundamentals of the game. They want to win this.
Yeah, Rosewood coach William Tronk wouldn't be happy with the fundamentals and the 11 Cody Waddington's running and just went 45 metres, held up, and then looked like he's dropped the ball. No, Riley Gamble said there was two in the tackle and the ball come out. So if I'm a betting man, I'd be sitting there going for another 2 points.
Yeah, Redbank has thrown the ball away too, so they'll be lucky not to be penalised for throwing the ball away. Riley Gamble got his back turned to that situation, but for now, precious seconds tick away while Burke lines up this conversion attempt. Again, I call for a water runner to get out there and say, use the full 90 seconds for your conversion attempt. The clock will not stop at this level of the game for a conversion attempt. So it only stops for injury. So you can take the full 90 seconds and maybe even stretch the friendship with Riley Gamble, eke out a few more precious seconds. So he takes 90 seconds here. There's 3 minutes left. He can then get the ball back for 6 tackles as Stevenson limps from the field. He's finally succumbed to injury, unfortunately. That's not a great way to leave a preliminary final in the hands of a trainer. We do hope he's able to recover from that. Noah Tronk's got to be the man to step up and take the interchange card from Stevenson as he collapses once he leaves the field. So he's battled hard. Rosewood need to be careful here. This is, again, a live ball situation. They're all huddled behind Riley Gamble as if it's a try conversion attempt. This is a penalty conversion. If it's the upright, the Bears grab it, race away. You don't want to be watching this on Bar TV for the next 6 months on how we lost that preliminary final. Nonetheless, Burke converts successfully. So the best outcome possible for the Rosewood side was achieved. Riley Gamble has talked to Sheriff on the run about, I can't stop the clock. You're going to have to race up if you want a quick one. Andrew, your thoughts?
Yeah, they need to show some urgency. Like I said, I'll be going for that big kick, the biggest kick you can. Put so much pressure on it and force the mistake. They need to do that. There's just over 90 seconds to go, but none of these short kickoffs. Go deep and long as you can, don't be offside either. But anyway, they've listened to me, so it was a good deep kick at the moment, and a good chase by the Redbank team. They need to now force an error and attack with their defence, but they also need to give away a penalty as well.
No, they've got to hold on to that ball because the Bears will come in and try a one-on-one strip. They'll try to jar it with strong tackles. This is O'Brien. He's the man I'd like to see carry the ball. Him and Burke need to close this game out with no Liam Davis on the field. Lucas Davis, I beg your pardon, on the field. They're the men they've got to go to. Dummy half is Widgewell. Harry Widgewell back on the field. He's just trying to take a safe play down that short corridor. 15 metres short of the halfway line, under a minute to go. Burke is just trying to organise O'Brien. He takes a run through some traffic. There's some big bears trying to grab him. He's almost up to the halfway line. Under 40 seconds, the Rosewood Roosters. They've got North Tigers waiting for them in the grand final. This time next Saturday afternoon. Brought to you on Bar TV. A penalty to the Rosewood Roosters. That would have to be the Redbank Plains season gone, one would think. As we get to the 20-second mark, Rosewood will take an eternity to kick this one into touch. They want to decide who kicks it. As Gamble asked the Bears to stay back full 10 metres. They've retreated further because they feel their season slipping through the fingers. They tap and go, Rosewood. Well, again, they keep the ball in play when it's... The idea is to keep the ball away if you were opposition. But that's the final who. The Redbank Plains season, as gallant as it once was, has come to an end. 20-16 defeat to the Rosewood Roosters, who would advance to the grand final against the North Tigers in the Jets Leagues Club under 15 Premier Challenged Development Challenge competition. I'll get my words out yet. Both players shake hands. What a wonderful game of football to start us off. 5 games back-to-back on Bar TV this afternoon. We do hope you can stay with us. But for now, that's full time as things draw to a close here. Once again, Rosewood Roosters will now meet the North Tigers in the under-15 Jets Leagues Club Development Challenge. The Redbank Plains Bears get to think about what might have been for another 6 months, unfortunately. Thank you for joining us. We look forward to seeing you when we bring you the under-15 Brothers Leagues Club Premier Division preliminary final next up on Bar TV. Redbank Plains against the Springfield Panthers. We'll see you soon.